Welcome to Want to Learn Chemistry, a site to help you become a chemistry expert. Today you will be learning about limestone and its uses. Starter activity. Answer the following questions. What do we call this compound? Which element make it up? And how many atoms of each element are there? And the answer is, the compound is called calcium carbonate, and calcium carbonate contains the elements calcium, carbon, and oxygen. We have one calcium atom, one carbon atom, and 3 oxygen atoms. Quarrying limestone. Today you will be learning about limestone, its uses, the benefits and drawbacks to quarrying it from the ground. For a grade C, you need to be able to state that limestone and its products have many uses, including slaked lime, mortar, cement, concrete, and glass. To achieve a grade B, you need to be able to describe how calcium carbonate can be decomposed by heating to make calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. And to achieve a grade A, you need to be able to evaluate environmental, social, and economic effects of exploiting limestone and producing building materials from it. What is limestone? This is a picture of limestone, and it is a sedimentary rock that is formed over millions of years from the remains of dead sea creatures. Its chemical name is calcium carbonate, and its formula is CaCO3. Quarrying. This picture shows quarrying taking place, and it's used to get limestone dug out of the ground, and the process is called quarrying. Limestone can be buried deep underground, and the stone covering must be removed using explosives. Uses of limestone. The first use is building material. Limestone has been used for thousands of years for buildings and roads. However, since it is attacked by acids, it is easily weathered and eroded. On the right, there are 2 statues that have been eroded. Use number 2, making glass. Glass is made by heating a mixture of limestone, sand, and sodium carbonate, also known as soda. Use number 3, making cement. Cement is made by heating together powdered limestone and clay in a rotary kiln. This is a summary of the many uses of limestone. Heating limestone. When limestone is strongly heated, it begins to glow. It decomposes to form calcium oxide and carbon dioxide gas. The word equation is calcium carbonate arrow calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide, and the symbol equation is this type of reaction where substance is broken down by heat is called a thermal decomposition. Heating other carbonates. A number of other carbonates are decomposed in the same way as calcium carbonate when heated. And here are the examples. On the right is the simple equation for copper carbonate. And on the right is simple equation for zinc carbonate. Both of the above examples are showing thermal decomposition. Answer this question to check your understanding. What is the chemical name for limestone? What is the chemical formula for limestone? And list 5 things limestone can be used for. Pause this video to answer the questions. Now let's go over the answers. What is the chemical name for limestone? And the answer is calcium carbonate. What is the chemical formula for limestone? The answer is CaCO3. 5 uses of limestone. They are cement, mortar, concrete, glass, buildings. List the advantages and disadvantages of using limestone. Okay, now let's go through advantages. It looks good. Limestone can be easily carved and made into statues. Getting it out of the ground isn't so difficult. And it can be used to make many products. Now let's look at the disadvantages. To make calcium carbonate usable, you have to convert it into quicklime. This requires a lot of heating, which releases CO2. And we know carbon dioxide contributes to global warming. Limestone can be eroded by acid rain, and it is difficult to get rid of.
Okay, suéltala. Ahí va. Bye. Home. Ahorita.
Another task, you'll watch another video, and whilst watching this video, think about these 2 questions. Question 1, how much limestone does one person use in a year? And question 2, what are the uses of limestone?
Of all the rocks in the Earth's crust, this is the one we use the most. Limestone.
This much limestone, 600 tons of it, is quarried in the UK every minute. After 1 hour, the pile grows to 36,000 tons of limestone. This is how much limestone each person uses every year.
A surprising 3.5 tons of it. So what do we use so much limestone for?
Farmers need limestone to help neutralise acid soils so that crops like these grow really well.
I'm a stone sculptor, and the reason I use limestone is that it carves very well, it lasts a long time, and it's a really beautiful stone.
I work in the construction industry where the use of limestone is absolutely essential. It is in our concrete, bricks, cement and even in our glass.
It's used for building and construction of schools, of hospitals, factories, of shopping centres. Also, it forms all the transportation links between those. We can also take limestone and we can grind it for cosmetics. It's used in medicines and it's even used as a main constituent in toothpaste.
And if you think using limestone to clean your teeth is odd, how about eating it? It's added to bread as a source of calcium. It's also a vital ingredient in the extraction of iron from iron ore.
Now let's go over the answer to the questions. How much limestone does one person use in a year? And the answer is 3.5 tons. Question 2 was, what are the uses of limestone? And they are to neutralize acidic soils, to enable plants to grow. They're used in the construction industry for big bricks, mortar, concrete, cement, glass, etc. Toothpaste, medicine, cosmetics, bread, to encourage calcium consumption. This is Hope Quarry, Peak District. This is in the UK, and this is how it looked like 10 years ago.
We know that limestone is formed from the compression of shells and skeletons of many dead marine organisms. This means that limestone is found where there used to be large bodies of water. This also means that limestone must be mined. A quarry is an open mine, and quarrying is the process by which limestone is mined. We know that limestone has many uses and is the starting material for even more useful materials. This enables the construction industry to flourish and local and national economies to keep growing. From the same perspective, the existence of these quarries means that employment is created, either for the people living close to the quarry or for people who work with materials made from limestone. Therefore, it contributes to the livelihood and well-being for many people and their families. From an environmental perspective, however, it is rather different. To start, a large quarry is an incredible eyesore as it ruins the surrounding scenery. Let's imagine you are in a wide open space, with trees and grass all around you. Imagine that the birds are singing and that it is a bright sunny day. Now, place a very busy and noisy quarry right in the middle. Not very pleasant. People who live close to the quarry are frequently bothered by the constant noises and must inhale the dust and particulates produced from the quarrying process. This could lead to complicated health problems long term. Think about it. Limestone must be removed in slabs. This requires the use of heavy machinery and construction vehicles. As well, the original habitat was completely destroyed, and this habitat cannot be replaced. Now, let's imagine that you live close to the quarry. Place your house and school nearby. Can you think of one advantage and one disadvantage of having the quarry so close to where you live and study? Pause and resume when ready. Perhaps you are interested in limestone and its uses, and would like to explore a career in limestone quarrying. This would be a good starting point to gain hands-on experience about the industry. Maybe more houses need to be built for the quarry workers and their families. This would mean that you could have more friends and classmates in school. But it may no longer be safe for you and your friends to play or explore the area. As well, considering that there is quite a bit of noise and dust, you may wish to avoid prolonged exposure to the air around it. Some areas may have thrived from the tourism industry, but now that there is a quarry, walks and hikes may no longer be possible. Also, the quarried limestone must now be transported from the quarry to factories and other locations, now at multiple trucks driving back and forth from your imagined quarry. Even worse, so the noise levels are further increased, and keep in mind that these trucks are burning fuels emitting carbon dioxide and other oxides that contribute to the formation of acid rain. As well, once all of the limestone has been mined, we are left with an open space with no real use or purpose. What will happen to the local people who were employed at the quarry now that it has shut down? They may need to find employment elsewhere, and they may need to relocate their families. The surrounding area may very well soon be deserted. Limestone is a very important material and obviously needs to be quarried. Although there are many disadvantages to quarrying, the adverse effects can be minimized. The quarry can be smaller, therefore reducing the noise and pollution levels. Instead of having many trucks transporting limestone out of the quarry daily, the frequency of transportation can be reduced. Once the quarrying is done, trees can be replanted in the surrounding area. The empty quarry may also be used as a tourist attraction and as an educational site, educating the public about limestone, where it comes from, and its many uses. In conclusion, there are many economic advantages to quarrying limestone. However, there are social and environmental disadvantages, though these can be minimized by careful planning prior to opening a quarry.
Here is a list of the advantages and disadvantages of building a new quarry that I have identified. Some of the advantages are limestone used to make building materials, local roads or infrastructure is improved, quarry sites could be restored after use as new tourist spots or educational purposes, the local services have more money, people can travel easier, local businesses thrive, jobs in the quarry pay wages to local people. Some of the disadvantages are more traffic, especially lorries, quarrying destroys animal habitat, quarrying is dusty and dust can cause or irritate lungs and make asthma worse, quarrying is noisy and the noise disturbs the local people, quarries are ugly, the number and variety of wildlife is reduced, and lorries pollute the air and use a lot of diesel. Summary: the uses of calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate is the scientific name for limestone. It has the formula CaCO3. It's used in buildings and roads, to make glass, to neutralize acidic soils and lakes, to make cement by heating it with clay, and from the cement you can make mortar by adding water and sand. You can make concrete from cement by adding sand, gravel and water. Limestone has a formula CaCO3, and the uses of limestone are making glass and cement, building, making iron, neutralizing acid in soils and lakes. From limestone we can make quicklime by heating it, which also produces carbon dioxide. The formula for quicklime, also known as calcium oxide, is CaO. The uses of calcium oxide is to neutralize acid in soil. To make slaked lime, you add a little water. Slaked lime, known as calcium hydroxide, it has a formula Ca brackets OH close brackets 2, and the uses are to neutralize acid in soil. If you add a lot of water, calcium hydroxide becomes lime water. Lime water is calcium hydroxide solution. It has the same formula as slaked lime, and calcium hydroxide can be used to test for carbon dioxide, and it produces bubble in CO2 gas. So now you should be able to state the different uses of limestone, describe how calcium carbonate can be decomposed to make calcium dioxide and carbon dioxide, and evaluate environmental, social and economic effects of exploiting limestone and producing building materials from it. Now we will complete a short quiz to check our understanding. Question 1. What is the chemical name for limestone? And the answer is calcium carbonate. Question 2. Give 3 uses of limestone. They are buildings, glass, and neutralizing soil. Question 3. Give a disadvantage of limestone quarries. They are noise pollution, wildlife are disturbed and vastly reduced, and air pollution is caused, which can affect health. Give an advantage of limestone quarries. It creates jobs for local people, better roads and infrastructure. Many uses of limestone such as bricks, toothpaste, etc. Question 5. What is the chemical formula of limestone? And the answer is calcium carbonate, CaCO3. Summary question. Copy and complete using the words below, and the words are building, calcium, cement, and concrete. Pause the video whilst you copy and fill in the blank. Now let's go over the answer. Limestone is mostly made of calcium carbonate, whose chemical formula is CaCO3, as well as melding blocks of building material. Limestone can be used to produce concrete and cement that are also used in the building industry. Summary question 2. The stone roof of a building is supported by columns made of limestone. Why might these be unsafe after a fire in the building? Explain the chemical reaction involved in weakening the structure. Okay, now let's go over the answer. And the reason is the calcium carbonate in the columns may have undergone thermal decomposition, making it weaker. The calcium oxide form is much softer than the original calcium carbonate present in the columns, and so they're more likely to break away. This question is from the June 2012 chemistry exam paper question. Pause the video and answer the questions to gain some exam practice. Now let's go over on the next slide. There are more questions, and 5C22 is worth 2 marks. It should be out of the kiln. Now let's go over the answer from 5A to 5C. You have been listening to me at Want to Learn Chemistry, a site to help you become a chemistry expert. Like and subscribe for more videos. You can write to me on my channel or email me questions on wantolearnchemistry@gmail.com.